Today we're going to explore a coin that might at first glance look ordinary, but there's more than meets the eye. We're talking about the 2002 D dime from the United States Mint, part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series featuring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. You might hear people talk about it in passing, but by the end of this video you'll understand its history, its current market value, and the real story behind, is it worth a lot of money? Spoiler, maybe, but with caveats. So grab your notebooks and let's get into it. Point 1. The history and background first. A little background so we understand where this coin comes from. The Roosevelt dime series was introduced in 1946 in honor of President Roosevelt, following his death in 1945. Numismatic database +2 Wikipedia +2 The basic design features Roosevelt on the obverse, front, and on the reverse a torch in the center flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing peace and strength. Numismatic database +1 Now fast forwarding to the modern era. In 1965, a major composition change occurred. Before 1965, dimes were made of 90% silver. After the Coinage Act of 1965, the dime became a clad coin, outer layers of copper-nickel around a copper core. Wikipedia +1 So the 2002 D dime is not silver, it is part of the copper-nickel clad series, unless you're talking about special proof coins, but that's another story. The D mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint in Denver, Colorado. The catalog confirms that the 2002 D minting is part of the normal circulation coinage. Usecoinbook.com The mintage figure for 2002 D is very large. According to sources, over 1.37 billion coins were struck at Denver in 2002 for the Roosevelt dime series. Wikipedia +1 That means availability is very high. So from a historical viewpoint, this is a common date, part of the standard circulation series, modern era, clad composition. Nothing spectacular on face value, but that doesn't mean there are no interesting aspects or value possibilities. Point 2. Why collectors might care? You might ask, if millions were made, why would anyone care about this coin? Good question. There are a few angles. A. Condition matters because so many were made and circulated. Most 2002 D dimes you find in pocket change will show signs of wear. Collectors always gravitate toward coins in uncirculated condition, no circulation wear, often designated MS, mint state, grades. Even in that category, the abundance of coins keeps values modest. According to one price guide, most circulated examples today are worth in the tens of cents. NGC Coin +1B, variety or error coins. The real play happens when you find a coin with a special variety or minting error. For example, one website lists error examples of the 2002 D dime, folded over strike, missing clad layer, phantom design, etc., that have sold for over $1,000 in rare cases. Coin value checker. So if you have a standard 2002 D dime, it's common. If you have something offbeat, that's when things get interesting. C. Appeal of completing series. Many collectors aim to complete full sets of Roosevelt dimes, for each mint, each year, etc. The 2002 D is a key date for that year and mint. While common, it still holds value as part of ASET. So the message, yes, this coin is collectible, but you have to inspect condition, mint mark, and any unusual features if you want. Worth a lot of money. Point 3. Current market value. What to expect? Now we get to the key question. What is the current market value of the 2002 D dime? Especially given that I saw you referenced $.898.958 in your prompt, let's clarify what standard guides say. Here's what the references say. According to USA Coin Book, the 2002 D dime in uncirculated, MS+, condition is estimated at $2.47 or more. Usecoinbook.com According to the NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, price guide, circulated examples are worth roughly 15 cents to 35 cents in typical condition. NGC Coin According to another site, Coin Appraiser, normal, 2002 D dime is valued around 10 cents in absence of any special features or condition. Sell rare coins. A key date/value list shows this coin is in the $2-$3 range for uncirculated in that year and mint. CoinCollecting.com Bottom line, for a standard 2002 D dime, unless it is in spectacular condition or has a rare variety/error, the value is just a little above face value in most cases. The figures you quoted, like $898 or $958, appear not to align with mainstream price guides for a standard coin of this type. Now, if you do have an error coin or an extremely high-grade uncirculated specimen with certification, then values can shoot upward, but those are exceptional. Point 4. What drives upside value, and what doesn't? If you're hoping that your 2002 D dime is worth a lot of money, here's what to check, and what to temper expectations on. What increases value? Condition. If the coin is uncirculated, with full mint luster, no marks, sharp details, for example, full bands, on the reverse where the oak branch bands are fully separated and crisp, then it will command a premium. Certification. If it is graded by a professional service, PCGS, NGC, and receives a high grade MS65, MS66, etc., that gives confidence to buyers and can boost value. Minting error or variety. If the coin shows an unusual minting error, misstrike, missing clad, double strike, etc., those are rare and collectible. As mentioned above, some 2002 dimes with error features have sold in 4 figures. Coin value check. Rarity of variety. If the coin has a variant that is much scarcer than the regular issue, then supply/demand can push the price up. What limits value? Massive mintage. With over 1 billion minted, the standard 2002 D dime is abundant. That means basic examples, especially circulated, are common. Clad composition/modern date. Since this is a modern dime, post-1965 clad, and not silver, many collectors place a premium on older silver dimes. Wear and damage. Circulated examples lose value if there's wear, rim nicks, scratches, cleaning, or other damage. Condition. Premium limits, even for modern coins. Unless they are near perfect, the premium over face value is modest. Point 5. Your specific case, $898.958, claim you mentioned $898.958, which I interpret perhaps as $898.958 or roughly $899, in your prompt regarding current market value. Based on the standard references, that would be well above what mainstream guides suggest for a standard 2002 D dime in normal condition. So let's walk through possibilities. If you have a standard 2002 D dime, circulated, it's likely worth around $0.10-$0.35. If you have an uncirculated 2002 D dime in very high grade, say MS65 or better, value might rise into low dollars, $2 to $10 or more possibly. If you have an error coin variety, rare grade, certified by major grading company, it could command hundreds of dollars or more, so values like $800 to $900 may be plausible, but only in that specialized scenario and with documentation. So I suggest, before assuming $898 value, check whether your coin has any of the special features, error/variety, what its condition is, and whether it is certified. Without that, the standard market value is far lower. It might help to get it graded and seek expert opinion if you believe your coin is something special. Point 6. Tips for you as a collector/seller. Since you run RF coins and share information with your audience, here are some practical tips to include and keep in mind. Always verify the authorization of grading if you go that route. Make sure the grading agency credentials are valid. Check the certification number online. When selling, provide high-quality photos, obverse, reverse, edge, any mint mark, any errors. Show strike detail and any wear. For your viewers, encourage them to check mint marks, condition, and whether their coin is certified before believing extremely high values. Encourage setting realistic expectations. Lots of modern coins are common and will only fetch modest premiums. Exceptions exist, but they're rare. If you have a suspected error or variety coin, get expert appraisal, numismatist, coin dealer, and ask for provenance/graded documentation. Keep coins safe. Store and holders, avoid cleaning, as cleaning can reduce value. Monitor market trends. Values for modern coins can shift modestly, but dramatic jumps usually relate to discoveries of rare varieties or errors. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2018 dime, yes, the modern-day dime from the United States Mint, part of the Roosevelt Dime series featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt. We'll explore its history, its design, mintages, what to watch out for, what the current market says, and whether your 2018 dime might be more than just 10 cents. If you're a coin collector or just curious about finding hidden value in everyday change, stay tuned. Point 1. A bit of history and design. Let's rewind a little. The Roosevelt Dime series started in 1946, shortly after President Roosevelt's passing. The reason for choosing Roosevelt as the face of the dime is particularly meaningful. He was instrumental in the fight against polio and associated with the March of Dimes campaign. Passport Health Plus One. The coin you hold in your hand has a rich context. It's not just a 10-cent piece, it's a commemoration of a man who helped shape modern America. The obverse of the coin shows Roosevelt's left-facing portrait, the reverse features a torch, olive branch and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace and strength. Arnold Coin Plus One. Now jump to 2018. The coin in question is part of a very common issue year, but that doesn't mean there's no interest. The 2018 dime comes in several mint marks: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and special proof issues from San Francisco, S. The standard coins are clad, meaning copper core with a copper-nickel outer layer, since 1965. Silver recyclers plus 12. 2018 dime specifics, mintage, composition and variety. For 2018, the 2018 P dime, Philadelphia, had a mintage of approximately 1,193,000,000. PCGS plus 1. The 2018 D dime, Denver, had a mintage of around 1,006,000,000. Silver recyclers. The coin's composition: for regular circulation coins, it is clad copper-nickel, not silver. Coin value checker plus 1. Proof versions from San Francisco, 2018 S, were produced in smaller numbers and include both clad proof and silver proof versions. For example, the 2018 S clad proof and the 2018 S silver proof. Silver recyclers plus 1. So if you have a regular 2018 dime from circulation, in average condition, it's extremely common. That's key when we talk value. Point 3. What is it worth? The market today. Alright, here's where the excitement comes in. When you first unroll the possibility that your dime might be worth a lot of money, you have to set expectations correctly. For a standard circulated 2018 dime, P or D mint mark, in everyday condition, most sources say it's basically worth its face value of 10 cents. Coin value checker plus 1. If it's uncirculated, gem condition, or has been graded MS, mint state, then yes, you may see values in the $2 to $3.50 range for typical non-error coins. Coin value checker plus 1. Proof coins and silver proofs fetch more. For example, a 2018 S silver proof in PR65 condition is listed around $6 plus. Silver recyclers plus 1. Now I want to be crystal clear. I saw you mention a value like $.898.956. Write more. If you meant that the coin is worth nearly $900 or more, the data simply does not support that for an ordinary 2018 dime in normal condition. That kind of a figure would be way outside the documented market value for standard issues. The market numbers are far, far lower unless you have something extremely unusual, error, ultra-rare variety, certified MS68 plus. There are error coins for 2018 that can command significantly higher premiums. Examples include missing clad layer, strike through, etc. Coin value checker plus 1. If you have one of those errors, there might be serious value, but for that you'll want certification and expert grading. Point 4. Why the value is what it is. Criteria that matter. Understanding why most 2018 dimes are worth around 10 cents to a few dollars comes down to these factors: mintage and availability. Over 1 billion were minted for both P and D in 2018. That means they're not rare. PCGS plus 1 composition. These are clad coins, copper nickel, not made of precious metal, so the intrinsic or melt value is low. Silver recyclers condition. Grade condition is critical. A worn coin is far less valuable. Graded MS65 or higher will command more. Mint mark and edition type, proofs and special issues are more desirable. Regular circulation coins are less so, errors/varieties. If the coin has a recognized mint error or rare variety, collectors will pay more, but you must document and grade that properly. Because of these, unless your 2018 dime is in near pristine condition or has some unusual attribute, its value remains modest. 5. Tips for you if you've got a 2018 dime. Since you're deeply into coin collecting, and you're building content for RF coins, here are some smart steps. Inspect your coin, use good lighting, maybe a magnifier. Look for unusual marks, mint mark placement, missing clad layer, odd strike features, check mint mark. See if your coin is P, D, or S. If it's S proof, especially silver proof, that's more interesting. Condition matters. If the coin is uncirculated, no wear, full luster, it could be worth more. Grading might be worth it if you suspect a higher value. Errors/varieties. Look into error coins lists for 2018 dimes. For example, missing clad layer errors for 2018 are listed as commanding hundreds of dollars in certain cases. Coin value checker certification. If you suspect you have a rare variety, consider getting grading from a reputable service, e.g., PCGS, NGC. A certification increases market confidence, market realistic expectation. Even if you have a nice uncirculated coin, the recent value guides, 2025, still show $2 to $4 for typical MS condition for the standard 2018 P or 2018 D. Coin value checker +1 document for your channel. Since you create long scripts for YouTube, take high-quality photos of obverse/reverse, show mint mark, show any interesting feature. Talk to your audience about how to identify and value. That builds trust and value for your brand. RF coins. Point 6. What this means for your channel, RF coins. Because your channel focuses on US coins and their market value and history, this topic is great. It blends everyday coinage. Most viewers will have one, with the possibility of hidden value, which excites. Here's how you can structure your video concept. Open with a hook. What if your everyday dime is worth more than 10 cents? Introduce the 2018 dime, show the coin in your hand, point out mint mark, condition, tell the history story of Roosevelt on the dime, why he's there, show the mintages of 2018, composition, explain why most are common, then dive into the value, show sources, what typical market value is, and importantly dispel myths of huge values and less special condition or error. Introduce value boosters, proofs, silver proofs, error coins. Show examples, give practical tips, how to check condition, how to spot errors, when to consider grading, and with a call to action, encourage viewers to check their 2018 dimes, send in photos, subscribe to your channel, etc. Consider including engaging visuals, close-ups of the coin, comparative coins, standard versus proof versus error, variety charts. Possibly mention that while your coin might not be worth hundreds today, holding well-preserved coins and building sets matters long-term. And always note, rare coins are about condition plus rarity plus demand. 7. Final thoughts and wrap-up. So in wrapping this up, if you have a 2018 dime from the United States, it's most likely worth about its face value or a little more if uncirculated. Don't expect instant windfalls of hundreds, unless you discover something truly unusual, an error, a proof, or exceptional grade. That doesn't mean it's worthless, it means you're in a common year, which is fine. Common coins form the foundation of a collection. The exciting part is knowing how to look deeper, how to evaluate condition and variety, and how to tell the story behind the coin. That's exactly what RF Coins is here to help you do. If you enjoyed this deep dive, drop a comment below telling me whether you have a 2018 dime and what mint mark it is. Send me a photo via Instagram/Twitter link below, and we can help figure out if it has any extra value. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and share with fellow coin enthusiasts. Until next time, keep hunting for that hidden treasure in your wallet, stay curious, and collect with purpose. Today we're digging into one of the most commonly overlooked dimes in circulation, the 2007 D. Roosevelt dime, mint mark D, Denver, from the United States. On the surface it seems ordinary, but as you'll soon discover, it has a story, some interesting history, and yes, the potential to be worth more than you think. Point 1. Coin basics. What you're holding. The 2007 D Roosevelt dime is part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, first introduced in 1946. On the obverse front, you'll find President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing right, the word Liberty at upper left, and the date 2007 to the right. On the reverse back, you'll see the Torch of Liberty in the center flanked by olive branches, and the legend United States of America, 1 dime. Its specifications are weight, 2.27 g diameter, 17.9 mm composition, clad copper nickel, outer layers, over a copper core. Sell rare coins +2 usecoinbook.com +2 minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark, because it's clad, not silver, and mass-produced in modern times. Its face value is of course 10 cents, US 10 cents, but what about its collecting value, too? A quick history and why it mattered. The Roosevelt dime replaced the wartime silver dime in 1946 and has remained in production ever since. As a modern coin, 2007, it does not carry the rarity of older silver dimes or early mint errors, so in general it is extremely common. However, within the 2007 series there are special varieties and error coins that bring collector interest. For example, coins with die cracks, cuds, rim cuds, shattered die errors. Coin value checker +1 uncirculated coins in mint condition. For the standard circulated 2007 D dime, the story is, you expect near face value, maybe a little premium if it's in super high grade. But if you spot something odd, error or ultra sharp MS grade, that's where the value can jump. 3. Current market value. What you can realistically expect. Here's where things get interesting, and a little caution is needed. Let's break it down. According to One Coin Value Guide, a regular 2007 D Roosevelt dime in typical circulated condition is listed at about US 10 cents, face value. Sell rare coins. A more detailed pricing guide for uncirculated, MS plus grade, condition gives the value for the 2007 D at around US $2.47 or more for very high-grade uncirculated specimens. Usecoinbook.com for special varieties or error coins, for example rim cuds, shattered dies, the value can go significantly higher. One example, a 2007 D Roosevelt dime with a rim cut error graded MS64 sold for about US $710. Coin value checker. So, if you see a listing or someone tells you that the 2007 D dime is worth a lot or hundreds of dollars in standard form, take a step back and ask, what's the condition, what's the error/variety, is it certified by a grading service? Without those, most coins will be very modest in value. Bottom line, for a typical circulated 2007 D Roosevelt dime you should realistically expect something close to face value, maybe $1 or $2 if in nice condition. For an uncirculated example it might go into a few dollars. For the rare error/variety pieces, that's where the big jumps happen. 4. Why some listings claim huge values, and what to watch. Sometimes you might see listings that claim values like, worth a lot of money, for the 2007 D, and they might list figures like $898.956, or similar exaggerated numbers. Always approach those with caution. Let's talk about the factors that do legitimately drive high values, and what you should watch out for. Legitimate value drivers, certified grade, for example by Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, showing MS, mint state, condition, often MS65, MS66 or higher, uncirculated coin with no wear, good strike, full details, rare errors/varieties. For example rim cud, multi-struck die cap, off-center strike, that are documented and sought by collectors. Coin value checker low mintage or special finish versions, though for 2007 D normal circulation coin the mintage is large, so rarity comes mostly from errors or condition. Red flags and things to watch. A coin listed as 2007 D Roosevelt dime, worth hundreds, without any mention of grade, certification, or specific error/variety, listings that use decimal points confusingly. For example, $898.956 might mean $898.956 equals $898.96, but rarely is this legitimate unless certified. And error, claims of Mint condition, without photos or certification, not checking whether the coin is circulated or uncirculated. Circulated condition dramatically reduces value, ignoring the fact that modern clad coins, post-1964, often have very high mintages, so condition and rarity matter more than just the year. 5. What this means for you as a collector: if you have one of these coins, a 2007 D. Roosevelt dime, in your collection, great. But let's set expectations, and I'll give you a checklist so you can evaluate and maybe decide if it's worth getting it graded or simply holding as a fun piece. Checklist for evaluating your coin: condition. Is it obviously worn, scratches, discoloration, dullness? Or does it look crisp, with full detail, strong luster, minimal marks, mint mark? Does the coin have the D mint mark for Denver on the obverse beside the date? Ensure it's really a 2007 D and not another year or mint, variety or error. Look for anything unusual, misalignment, off-center strike, die cracks, cuds, raised lumps on rim, doubling, etc. If you suspect an error, take good photos and maybe get an expert opinion. Certification. If you believe your coin is in very high grade or is an error piece, consider sending it to a reputable grading service, PCGS, NGC. A slabbed coin gives buyers confidence and usually commands higher value. Market comparison. Look at recent sale prices, not just asking prices. For example, the USA Coin Book shows recent sales around US $1.50 to US $2.50 for high-grade uncirculated 2007 D. usecoinbook.com. Don't overpay. If you're buying, watch for inflated listings. Verify condition, certificate, and seller reputation. Should you hold it, sell it, grade it? If your coin is just a typical circulated 2007 D with everyday wear, you might keep it as part of your modern roster of dimes. But don't expect a windfall. If it's uncirculated condition and you believe it may grade MS65 or higher, consider getting it certified if the cost is reasonable and you're comfortable. The certification cost needs to be weighed against likely value. If you find a coin with a clear error or variety, for example a rim cut, or multi-struck die, then yes, getting a professional grading might be very worthwhile because such pieces can reach hundreds of dollars or more. 6. Conclusion. What to tell your friends back home: so when you show your family or fellow collectors your 2007 D. Roosevelt dime, you can confidently say, this coin is a modern common dime, worth its 10-cent face value unless it's in superb condition or has an error/variety. For a typical one you're looking at maybe $1 or $2 if uncirculated. If somewhere between circulated, those are very modest. But if we uncover an error or ultra-high grade, then yes, it could be worth a lot more. Be sure to emphasize that worth a lot more does not mean simply, because the year is 2007 and it has a D mint mark, there must be condition or error factors. And always verify with good references and recent market sales. Today we're shining the spotlight on a humble coin that many pass by, the 2003 D dime from the United States Mint. Yes, the dime may look ordinary, but even ordinary coins can hold stories, and sometimes value, if you know what to look for. So get comfortable and let's dive into the world of the US dime, the 2003 D issue, its history, and what it's worth today on the market. Introduction to the US dime. Before we zoom in on the 2003 D, it's essential to understand the dime's place in American coinage. The US dime, 10-cent piece, has been around since the late 18th century and carries more than just a face value of 10 cents. It's part of America's coinage heritage. Wikipedia +1. In 1796 the first circulating US dime appeared under the draped bust design. Over the centuries the design and metal composition changed, but the role remained, a small coin, representing a tenth of a dollar, with its own story. Wikipedia +1. By 1946 the Roosevelt dime was introduced, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. From that point forward, the dime carried his likeness. Coincollecting.com. And compositionally, after the Coinage Act of 1965 the silver content was removed. From 1965 on, dimes were made of a copper nickel clad over a copper core. Wikipedia +1. So by 2003, this is what we're dealing with, a clad coin, produced for circulation in huge quantities, but even such coins can hold interest for the collector. Focus on the 2003 D dime, mintage, composition and design. The 2003 D dime was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark, and belongs to the Roosevelt dime series. 1946 to present. APMEX plus 1 key specifications, denomination, 10 cents diameter, about 17.9 millimeters weight, approximate 2.27 grams, in modern clad form, composition, copper nickel clad over copper core. APMEX plus 1. The mintage is enormous. The 2003 D had a mintage of some 986,500,000 coins. APMEX plus 1. That means it is extremely common in the scheme of things. Countless of these exist, many in pocket change, many in circulation. And that means for the average example the value will hover close to face value. We'll see exactly what that means in a moment, history and why it's interesting. Even though it's a modern, common coin, the 2003 D dime still carries the story of the Roosevelt dime series, the tribute to FDR, the connection with the March of Dimes campaign, which Roosevelt supported, and the continuity of U.S. circulating coinage. That story gives the dime context. CoinCollecting.com. Also, as collectors we know that common doesn't mean worthless. While most will trade at or near face value, special conditions, high grade, uncirculated, full bands, or error varieties, can push value above the mundane. For the 2003 D dime, there are such opportunities. Coin value checker plus 1. So one big message: if you have a 2003 D dime, yes, it may be common, but inspect it carefully. Check condition, check for full bands. On the torch reverse of the dime series, check for unusual errors. Those are what elevate value, current market value. What's it worth? Now let's get to the question you're really here for. What is the 2003 D dime worth today in the market? Here's the breakdown. For a typical circulated 2003 D dime, the value is roughly face value, meaning about 10 cents in US terms. Many sources indicate values of around 10 cents or little above for average circulated coins. Sell rare coins plus 1. For uncirculated examples, you might see modest premiums. According to one source, MS64 to MS66 uncirculated coins are worth perhaps $5 to $12 or so. APMEX plus 1. But, and this is the important but, error coins or coins with dramatic minting flaws can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, a 2003 DMS65 with a die crack sold for around $1,175. Another off-center or broad-strike error from the 2003 series pulled $800 to $1,300 in auction. Coin value checker. So if you were told your 2003 D dime is worth a lot of money, you must check: is it a regular issue in circulated condition, or is it special, error, high grade, rare variety? Most regular ones will not be worth large amounts. Also, one must note, some websites list huge possible values, e.g., $1 to $100,000 depending on grade, for the 2003 D dime, but those top values apply only for extremely rare or certified error coins in top grades. Numismatic database. In short, if you have a standard 2003 D dime in typical condition, its value is close to face. If you have something exceptional, get it graded, document it, show it off. Why the discrepancy between common and worth a lot, you might wonder. Why does a coin with nearly a billion minted can be worth a lot in some cases? The answer lies in two factors: condition and minting anomalies. Condition: coins that remain uncirculated, show full mint luster, strong strike detail, and no damage command premiums. But with modern clad issues, even those premiums are modest because so many exist. Minting anomalies, errors/varieties: when something in the minting process deviated, off-center strike, broad strike, die crack, clipped planchet, double die, etc., then the coin becomes numismatically interesting. That rarity drives value. The 2003 series offers such opportunities. Coin value checker. Another factor: collectors often chase FS, full bands, on the torch reverse of Roosevelt dimes. For earlier issues this is a strong premium, For 2003D it still matters, though the baseline value is low because so many exist. Graysheet.com +1. So, the takeaway: regular worn coin equals face value. Uncirculated good coin equals modest premium. Error or extraordinary specimen equals potentially very high value. Tips for owners and collectors. For RF Coins audience, if you own a 2003D dime or are thinking of acquiring one, here are my recommendations. Inspect condition. Check for wear, marks, loss of luster. If it looks sharp and uncirculated, it may be a candidate for a higher grade. Check reverse torch bands. On the reverse of the Roosevelt dime there are horizontal bands across the torch. Strong, complete bands, full bands, are desirable. Examine for errors. Look closely for oddities, misstrikes, off-center, clipped planchets, die breaks/cracks. If you find something unusual, research and possibly get it graded. Certification helps. If you believe you have a high grade or error coin, grading by a professional service, e.g., Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can unlock value and trust. Keep market realities in mind. While coins are fun and collectible, many modern common coins have minimal premiums. Don't expect enormous value unless the coin is exceptional. Preservation. Store your coins in a cool, dry place. Avoid handling by bare fingers. Keep them in protective holders. Any scratch, cleaning or damage will reduce value.